Good evening everybody and welcome back to my chaos-filled server. The sun is just going down and there's been a few changes to the manor. When I say a few, it's a bit more than a few. So I thought I might actually show people around this time and show you what I've been building. It's not 100% complete, still got a couple of floors and stuff to do, but I'm going to stay in creative mode and I'm basically going to give you a tour when the sun goes down, so it's night time and we get a bit more of aesthetic. So yeah, basically the Redwood Mannor started off as pretty much a big square box and then began to take shape. Then I added turrets to the sides of it and also a tower on top, which I'm not too sure, but it might be in one of my videos. Might be. But either way, the sun has set, so welcome to the Redwood Mannor 2.0. Oh yeah, look at that. Now, this took me, I think it was about 14 hours in total. Absolutely every last block is made from survival, including that red water, which is actually blood. But as I go through this, I'll explain it. Now, that up there on the side, just fly across so you can just get a better view of it, is actually a dragon's head mixed with a devil, and it has blood pouring out of its mouth. The fountains are also made of blood. I've extended this pathway since you probably last seen it. I like the way that there's a pool full of soul faces there. It's pretty cool. There is glowstone underneath these blocks so that the actual water lights up at night. Thunderstorms look absolutely amazing. I mean, look at the size of me compared to the goddamn building. All this is a 3x3, I think it is, tower wall, and this is a gate that has drawbridges on the underneath, so that when this lever is pulled, all these levers are going to be backwards, so they won't be on the front, they'll be on the back. But when you pull this, gate comes down. We've got Thorncraft candles and Tinker's construct torches. Actually, no, it's not, it's 5x5. Now, we're going to do a tour of the outside walls. So, what I've done here is I've used fir, well, it's not fir wood, that's just what it thinks it is. It's actually rosewood. So I've used rosewood on the corridors. Got some of the towers, these are meant to be like that at the top. This one isn't finished yet, so going with the general sort of shieldy type pattern. I'll take you across the front of the walkway. There is yet again rosewood even, sorry, walkway, get me words tied there, and red rock bricks from plenty of biomes. That's an enderman. The towers, this one I need to add, in fact I think to all of them I need to add another spike down so it looks a bit more towered, but that's the opposite pattern to the floor. So you've got one way that way, the other way that way, and these all have interlinking staircases. These bits here, these two blocks, oh, didn't want to do that. What? Why aren't you going in? There we go. These two blocks here are going to be drawbridges, so they seal up to the wall, so they don't even look as if they're there. And then you've got all the corridors, which are pretty much the same. So just take a flyby. This tower is sunk slightly into the ground. As you can see, I haven't quite finished this yet, but it shall be done. So that sinks right the way down to sea level. Let's go through this one. This one needs a floor in it still, but all the roofs are intact. So, and there you go, same corridor right the way down the end, and that bottom one has a pattern on the floor. I still need to, oh no I don't, that's fine, it just looks weird with the grass. I've cut all this back using a paxel, which is that, which is a pickaxe and axe and a shovel all combined into one with iron instead of wood for the handles. This is my solar farm. Normally there are a lot more. I think there's about 8 more, I think it was at one point. I need to fix that hole. So yeah, this is the like surrounding gardens, which I'm going to put a few more different coloured trees from plenty of biomes and stuff in. Oh, some moonstone there. could use that on the other server. Shitloads of it. So yeah, this is the where the blood comes down from the dragon's mouth, into a pool at the bottom. So if you actually try and get over this, you can't. You can't actually physically get in. So there's no way of climbing it. You could break the bars, but I'm not going to do that because, well, one, I don't want to, and two, there's quite a nasty surprise if you do. So you've got mechanisms here to control it. So the first thing I need to do is literally shut the blood off. Oh, I was stuck on something then. So the blood will run down, it'll fall into the pool, and it should level it out, which it does. So now there's no longer blood coming from the dragon's head. And then switch this lever, it'll bring down the gate and pull over the drawbridge, so you can securely get into the manor. Now, some of this you will have already seen if you've watched previous videos. Basically where I started out, in the towers. Let's go up a couple of levels. This is the Ars Magica. This is where all the magic happens, pretty much, for creating your spells. This is the spell altar. Now, the only way this could get any better is by those white blocks, the moonstone blocks up there, being sunstone blocks, and that is the absolute maximum that you can have. So I'll show you this over here. This is an example of the bibliocraft with all of its shelving, so you can store lots and lots of potions, up to stacks of 64 actually, so you can have lots and lots of things on these, and it's very decorative. Got my enchanting table. Go back down to the bottom floor again. This is my sorting room. I wonder if I have as much shit as I thought I did. Yeah, I do, yeah. Basically this is the input from the quarry. So this is being piped in via an ender chest under there. This void pipe doesn't actually connect to that chest, it just links to it. This will delete any items that are put into here, or rather into this one. So all the red ones and all the blue ones are being separated off, and anything else goes into the chest. It's probably the easiest way to do it, separate your crap, because if you don't, then you might end up deleting things you don't want to. And this void chest, eventually, if it's too fast, it will fill up and start like splurging everywhere, but yeah, fuck it, doesn't matter. It's only a load of shit that no one needs anyway, so other than building materials. So I've got all my stuff all nice and neatly labelled. Lots of diamonds there, beautiful. My nature chest is like completely and utterly full. Odds and ends, just stuff that I found, like banners from Choco Quest and a couple of wands and staffs. I didn't know about the statues mod up until the other day, so currently there are no statues, but there will be. I'm not sure what I'm going to make them out of though. My lovely ore chest, look at all that gorgeous ore. So that's all unrefined. Wood doesn't really ever have anything in it. Science is got a few tesseracts and bits and bobs in it, some hardened glass, a sword for some reason. This is my magic chest, completely full of all my magical goodies, including brewing, and my chest for all my smelted ingots only, forged materials, and weapons and armour. That trickster dagger is pretty cool, and the sword of the Zephyr I found. Got some lich robes, they're Choco Quest as well. So, yep, that's pretty much this floor. They are armour stands, they're dead easy to make them. They're just 2 blocks of wood in the top centre and centre, and then sticks either side in the centre and bottom, left and right. This is part of Buildcraft. It's a chip, well, it's assembly table, so it can pretty much make anything really that's in the that acquires an assembly table, which is quite a few things actually, so you get quite a lot of chips and stuff. A fluid transposer, an induction smelter, pulverizer heat generator, Mugatora confuser, a redstone furnace, which is an absolute bugger because you've got to make one of these redstone flux capacitors to actually power it, and they take a stupid amount of power to do so. Right, well, next is probably going to be the next floors. That's where I started out, basically, building this entire place. It started as pretty much that cube, and then the rest of it. So, down here, I have just fell into a pool of molten iron. Oops, that wasn't very clever. Excuse me. Good job I am in creative mode, otherwise I would have died horribly then. unless I've got... No, I took all my armour off. Down here we have a rather colourful forge and lift system. All the lifts are going to look like this eventually, so it will look rather cool. So I've got my forge, which has quite a bit of shit in it, to be quite honest, and that extends right the way up and into the ceiling. That hole above it was so mobs can drop into it, so I could have actually got that blood for the fountains, which takes an awful lot to get a bucket of blood. This is all my tinkering stuff. Down here is a passage to where all my chests are. Where I've started out down here, gave it a nice little red carpet. I've got some Ars Magica stuff. So that is an essence refiner. You'll basically put items in there and you'll end up with a particular type of essence depending on what it is. You put your fuel, which happens to be a bucket of liquid essence, and this will start spinning and sparkling, and then the energy will transfer over to that. You can store a battery so that you don't necessarily have to do it. I think the battery will take it back into the ring and then to the essence refiner, but I wouldn't quite quote me on that. But yeah, and also if you notice the sparkles, they're in Sfax, they have quite a nice aesthetic to them. But I think I'll be changing my texture pack very, very soon, because the server I'm going to start doing things on is the Sortex pack. I'm not exactly too sure which one, I can't remember what it was called, but I've got the link there so I know I can get it. A nice full forge. Right, next layer up was the Ars Magica, and then up again, oh, we have a visitor, we have a light mage. Hello. That's, oh, what else do we have? Now, because I've been doing good magic and not bad magic, these light mages will start spawning around my encampment, and they will do anything to destroy a black mage. You need to become more powerful before I follow you. How about I just hit you with my sword and kill you instantly? How about that, eh? How about that, pal? But yeah, I'm quite happy that they're there, because they'll take out evil monsters, so the more of them the better, I suppose. These are the insides of the towers. That's sandy stone brick up there, and nice decorative patterns. You can see as the layers go, they change. Sorry if that blurs the camera vision, but it is quite snappy when it does it. So go up 2 levels, and we shall go to the roof. There's nothing currently in them tower blocks. This, you can go all the way up and down, it's just you can only get to it from the bottom. Or can you? No, you can't actually. I've made doors, I just haven't put the doors in. So this is still pretty work in progress, but the roofs, I've found a new way of doing it. I've found the carpenter's mad, but to be honest, I actually like the way that roof goes a little bit squiff. Gives it a little bit of character. So, and I thought that new tower there was a glitch, but it's not. So you come across, you get the backside view of the towers. There is a lot of micro blocks here as well. So running up and down to give the feature, well, to give the look of it not being so square, so it sort of breaks it up a bit. These are the tower tops with the turrets, going with the kind of Gothic England kind of style turrets, and battlements side of the house, well, the back side of the house I should say, with the farm. Let's come around to the sides. We shall go and have a look. Right, these are a bit different. These actually cap off at the top like pyramids, so these pyramid roofs, whereas they are cylindrical roofs. This is my demon. It took me a while to do this, and I thought he was going to look like absolute shit, but it actually turned out, in my opinion, to be pretty damn good. I like the way it kind of merges into the fleshy coloured clay blocks. But behind that glowstone, that moves and the blood comes down. So this is all hooked up by computers and wireless. So they are red power like button lights. Got some torches on there just to try and give him the like smoke effect coming out of his nose, but you can only see it up close. His crown on the top of his head, which is pretty cool, and you can go inside him as well if you wish. So you can drop down and go into this middle tiered tower. Now you've got these floors as well, which are much prettier, with complete glass right the way up, so you can see into the different quarters. Let's go see if you can see how the mechanics work in here. I'm not sure whether you can. Yep, dead simple. There's the blood. There's the signal dish that will take the signal through that tiny bit of red alloy wire. Moving on, we go up. Now, these are going to be used for... Oh, hello, there's a creeper there. Mr. Creeper. Fucking eat that. These provide light as well. Oh, shit, did not want to do that. They are Mr. Craft crystals. Just pop that back. Mr. Craft crystals, they you put them together in the shape of a obsidian portal, exactly the same as the nether, and then a book receptacle. You put your book in it and it creates a portal, so you can take it in and out and change the actual colour effect of the portal. Here is where the sort of turrets come off. At the moment I've sealed them up, but I shall just replace what I have there. So I've come in with the red theme to match the first bit, then the second bit of the green theme continues on inside, and these are like sort of like prison sort of like towers. You get quite a nice view out of these, actually, to be fair. Giant redwood tree there. I think that was along the lines of like a helmet on top of the doors kind of thing, or a helm. So like all these towers are the same, so it's all good. I'll just go and find that room. There it is. Pop that back so I don't forget about it. No, my luck I will. Yeah, the colours on the floor change as well, as you probably noticed. The whole pattern is not the same. It's either reversed or it's been changed. So the very bottom floor is going to be white, yellow, white, red and green in this particular order. Going up to the next part of the tower, I forgot you could get into the roof. You can see the top of the roof towers, but it's not enough to obstruct all view. So I planned that pretty well. I'm going to have slabs there so you can actually get up to the windows and you can get a decent view out of the windows. And this is the inside of the tower itself, which I will probably use to contain some kind of power, like the windmills outside. Or I could even make a nuclear reactor and tesseract the power up into the top of the roof and then run cables right the way down. And mages still there, good. Doesn't look like they're going to despawn. So go to the bottom floor and I will show you the roof. Oh yeah. Right, back to the bottom of the building. This as well is drawbridges, so that can also come up. I'm going to have it either way with the computer, so you can just literally type red set. In my case it would be back or bottom, depending on how I wire it, and then true, and then double tap it in, delete true and put false. So that means every time you double tap, you change in what the response is, so you can open the door and close it really, really rapidly. Because you probably will need to on survival mode. Could you imagine this getting blown up? Seriously, you wouldn't want that, would you? You wouldn't want a creeper or like an ender dragon or something to just fly right through it and smash the whole thing to pieces, right? Anyway, this is the way that the towers work. You've got dragon's claws, sort of, on the bottom there, as it builds out to make it look as if the arms kind of stretching out with claws under the towers. That needs a little bit of tweaking, but I can actually make that look a lot better. And then you come up to the roof in itself. So the roof sort of pyramids in and then squares off. So, but I'm going to change this with the carpentry blocks. So I'm going to have it, you can have like triangular quarters, or wedges as they're called, wedges and prism wedges. I'm going to have one straight on the outside of the roof and then one in reverse on the opposite, so it makes like a strip or a band, so there's a hole, like a triangular hole in the middle to go right the way up, which adds like that very gothic theme to it. I'm also going to put statues on the roof itself and down below in the gardens, and this is just a quick flyby view of the actual grounds in themselves. So as you can see, the dragon melds in quite nicely there. I'm really impressed with that, I'm really happy. Nice solar farm coming around the outside, and now that I'm at the back, just change it into night. With all the torches that are inside, it gives that really glowy light aesthetic to it, and if you ask me, it looks absolutely brilliant. But the that's for me to know personally and for you guys to decide. So the aesthetic look is just absolutely amazing, I think, personally. So what I shall do is now make it rain and close the drawbridge turn the blood on, close the gates. Like I said, I can't close the main door, otherwise I would have, and take a flyback view from that. And yeah, there you go. There is my manor. This is the Sprucewood Manor 2.0. I am Novocaine 6, and I'm thanking you all very much for watching. And if you like this, then hit it up, give me a thumbs up, and favourite it, subscribe, and give me a comment, tell me what you think, what you like, what you don't like, what could be improved, what you think could be better, or even, if you're that type of person, what could be worse. But I don't know why you'd want to do that, but, you know, these things need to try and make them look as good as possible. Like with the carpentry blocks, they'll look amazing, but, you know, there you go. That, people, is my manor. Thank you very much. I'm Novocaine 6, and I will see you all next time for some Ars Magica. Adios, amigos.